I'm going to assume you know what light painting is, but if you don't, you probably will by the end of this, and maybe you might learn something. You can use pretty much anything to light paint. You can use a torch, a small torch, use a bigger torch. Some people use their phones. But these things are limited. If you're going to try and paint something large, it's hard to get. If you want to get an even spread of light, it's quite hard to do, because you need to, whilst the photo's exposing, you need to sort of evenly paint what you're trying to light up. So I mainly shoot cars at night. Well, I find I mainly do. So you want to try and pass over the car in one big hit to get a nice even spread of light, if you want to try and light it evenly. So you can use something like this. That works quite well, although being that there's a lot of different lights in there, it can still leave trails which don't look very natural. So it can work, but yeah, this worked quite well for a while. I used this, and then I decided to make something with a little bit more even light spread. So I came up with this, which has basically a 4-foot batten light inside it, a fluorescent light. But obviously this is a problem, because if you're somewhere remote and dark or whatever, you need power. So then I used to use this, which works pretty well. Plug her in, plug her into the car, run an extension lead out, and run around and light up the car. I'll show you how this looks anyway. Plug her in. Got a nice spread of light. It's fairly good to aim. No light comes out the back, so you don't get any trails in your photos. And it worked pretty well. Except it's heavy, and you need to power it. Then you've got an extension lead, you've got to Photoshop out of your photos, or you're tripping over it, or all in all, it worked quite well. I got some good photos, but it's a pain in the ass to use. I came across this. It's a LED style fluorescent, replica sort of thing for fluorescent, replacement for fluorescent lights. Sits in the ceiling, it's a light. Once again, it needs mains voltage. I'll plug it in so you can get a look at how it goes. And it's quite a nice light. It's well diffused. Another nice touch is you can change the temperature of it, which obviously if you're shooting somewhere very dark and you're only using your light for painting, then it doesn't really matter what the temperature of the light is, because you can fix that with a white balance. But if you're shooting somewhere where there is some ambient light and you want to paint, using LEDs like the torches and all that, they can really sort of cast a strange light. It won't look very natural. Whereas with this, you can choose your colour, which is nice. So I thought, this would make a nice light brush, but obviously I don't want to use the inverter still, so I need to come up with a way to power this portably. The power this uses says it's from 23.5 to 43 volt, maximum 50. So, and it's DC, so we can do this pretty simply. The easiest way would be with some drill batteries and something to switch it on and off. Something that doesn't latch is good, because you can flick it on, off. You don't have to worry about fumbling for a switch. So this is all well and good. These are 18 volt each, so put them together, you've got 36 volts. I'm going to assume you know a little bit about lithium batteries. Some tool battery packs will have a BMS in them with a low voltage cutout, so that if you drain them too low, they'll turn the battery off, protecting the cells. Some don't, and if they don't, then you will destroy the battery and possibly start a small fire, which is exciting, but then your drill won't work very well. So you need to be aware of that. However, these say they contain 23.4 watt hours of power, so assuming you know, that your drill batteries are reasonably new. And this uses a maximum of 30 watts per hour. It's run this for nearly an hour, you know, and you're not going to use that for light painting. You're only going to flick it on and off here and there. So, you know, you go out, you do your photos, you come back and charge them back up. And yeah, hopefully you never get them too low. Although a lot of them will turn themselves off, but you don't want to be going that far anyway. So, wouldn't use this as a permanent light, but it's certainly okay for a light brush. So I'll show you how we wire this up. Alright, so I'll show you how to wire this thing up. We'll test our batteries too, make sure that they're, you know, reasonably within similar charge. I'm going to turn this on, eh? So it's 19.8 volts in that one. It's 19.7 in that one. That's good. Well, it's really close enough to be fine. So we'll basically connect the negative of one to the positive of other. Put them in series. That's doubling the voltage, and now we can once again check the voltage across the two of them. We'll see where we're at. We now have 39.5 volts, so it's perfect for the light. It's right where it needs to be. So I like to put the batteries, well, this is how I did it last time, put the batteries where I can hold them when I'm using the brush. Just to hold everything together makes it a bit easier. Put the button about here so you can, you know, hit it with the thumb. You want to base, well, you know, you can do this properly if you wanted to. You could solder it all together and or put terminals on it or make it proper. But I'm just going to do it like this because I'm going to pull it apart again. I'm not going to leave it connected like this all the time. Obviously you need to be able to take your batteries out to charge them. If you undercharge your batteries too much, this doesn't obviously have any kind of voltage, low voltage cutout. So if your batteries don't have that built in and you drain them past whatever's safe for them, I don't know what it is, for each pack it'll be different. You put it back on your charger and your charger will have a spaz out and say, nah, not happening, not charging. It'll sense a fault, so that's obviously a problem. You don't want to do that to your batteries, otherwise your power tools will have no power. So I'll just take this together. Stick this here. That's nice. So then I can activate that with my thumb. Stick that there. You really don't want to short the batteries when you're doing your wiring. If you short them out, there's a lot of energy in these things. They can tend to start a small fire or destroy your batteries. Neither are good, obviously. It's not what you want. I mean, I'm not going to tell you what you want, but it's more than likely you don't want that. This micro switch, I don't know where it came from. It was just lying around the shed. Came out of something sometime along the way. But oh, at this point here, I suppose we can just directly wire our light up and make sure that it's working. Which it is. Lovely. Very nice. So we'll tape this down. That's about the right spot for it there. So you can go mad with the tape if you really want and throw this thing around the car park and run over it. Personally, I'm going to be pretty careful with it. So, and we've got a light, and we can change the colour. Lovely. So, I suppose we'll take this outside and show you how it goes. So there you go. Probably weighs, I don't know, kilo. It's pretty light. Seems fairly durable. Obviously it's got some drawbacks like anything. You could probably paint the back of it black if you want to use it permanently for this, or even tape it up. A lot of situations I found it's too bright, so but it wouldn't be hard to sort of tape on some cardboard shutters or whatever to sort of work out the light pattern you want. And obviously it's not suitable for everything. It's not very good for pinpointing things, but casts a nice light. It's good for cars. It's not a really directional light, so that can be handy depending on what you're shooting. Yeah. Hope I've helped someone with an idea. Yeah, have fun. See yous.